I love working on myself. Like, it is actually like a passion of mine, and like I find so much comfort and joy in like actually finding where I think I could better myself and being like, even if it's physical as in like my physical health or working out, or I just started doing, speaking of Wim Hof, I just started doing like cold plunges and ice baths, and like even if I don't have the time to go outside, I just got a cold plunge. I did it right before I got here. It's the best thing ever.
I did
it's
it this
also
weekend,
so, again, it takes so much mental, the whole thing of it is all mental. So I don't know, just stuff like that I really love. So I'm always trying to just be the best version of me, and so I just love that. It like actually makes me feel really good. I love self-care and I just love stuff like that. So it's been really cool, but it's cool for you to say that you enjoy seeing that from me, because there's always been kind of this weird part of it for me where I'm like, is this a pity party? Because I don't want it to be. Like, I want this to feel very positive. I want to connect with people, and I guess that is my goal there, is to be like, there actually is this side of me that you may not know of, but the goal here is to connect and also not feel like I'm throwing some pity party for myself, because I want this to be a learning experience for everyone. I want this to be really positive and really, really well received. I want you to look at it and actually have a positive feeling towards it. So I don't know, you'll find like if I, when I do kind of post about something or when I want to talk about something, I'm usually sharing a tip or like sharing kind of like a little technique, even if it's something so simple as like walking outside, taking a few deep breaths and journaling. Like, it's just that kind of stuff that I really like to share, because I feel like I want to be helpful more than anything.
Absolutely.
I just liked being to myself. I don't know if that's the Scorpio in me, so it just came naturally or whatever. I had a group of friends who I loved, but I like can vividly remember just on the weekends not running to go be with my friends all the time. During the summer I was with them, but on the weekends in between school I was really just by myself. I would love to like hang out in my room. I like was kind of a nerd. I loved video games and like sitting on the computer and playing Sims all day. Like, I just kind of liked being to myself, and then all day long during the summer was with my horses. And I don't know, it just brought me joy. I don't think I have like a super long explanation for that. It was so simple for me as a kid. Like, it was just as simple as that made me happy, and that's just what I wanted. And it explains, I guess, a lot of me now. I went through like a phase where I felt like I had to be around people. I think I live a very social life, and my job is very social. So I was, kind of conditioned to want to be around people a lot. And then as, the pandemic came around, you're not around as many people anymore. And now I'm just re-enjoying being by myself, which is really cool. I crave simple things. Like, I love my life and I love my job. And I feel so fortunate that I have been placed here, that for some reason I was given this life. Like, I feel immensely grateful for that, and I have had so much fun. And I like think back on just the experiences that I've had thus far, and it's shocking to me. I'm like, this is so freaking cool that I live this life. But at the end of the day, like when I am home and when I'm alone, like I crave the simple things. I love a simple day. I love just like a simple routine and being to myself and being around the people that I love, my small core crew. So like I said, I look back and the things that I've accomplished, just even my job, like I think I really at one point when I was younger decided I want to be a model and this is what I want to do. And the fact that I executed, because we talk about that determination, like I was 14 years old when I kind of made that decision and was like, this is what I want to do. And I went to my mom and I was like, please help me do this. And I didn't stop until I was 24, that I was like, okay, I think I need to like take it back a notch, which we could also get into because that's a very kind of dramatic story. But like I just knew, and I think I'm proud of myself for being that kid and being determined to do that and then executing and doing it to the level that I had done it and that I guess I still do. But I also am proud of, I think more so, the self-work that I've done within that process. Because there was a long period of time, I'd say the core 5 years of it, that I was extremely overworked, not my happiest, not because I wasn't doing what I loved, but just because I was overwhelmed and I felt like I was saying yes to everything because I felt really, really grateful and really honored to be in the position that I was in. So I was always saying yes. And it just took a lot out of me to the point where I just wasn't happy anymore. And so I had to set those boundaries for myself when I was about 23, 24. I'd say like, a year before the pandemic. So yeah, I was probably 23. I really set boundaries for myself and I was like, I want to continue to do this because this is what I love. But I need to start saying no when I can and prioritizing me and prioritizing like, my happiness and my well-being. And it has done wonders for me. Like I feel like I can show up better for myself and I can show up a better person for the people that get to be around me that day and, that I work with on that day. So I want to be able to live with happiness. God forbid any of this ever went away. And I think that was a big moment for me of being like, I'm going to be okay if I don't get this job tomorrow. And I'm going to be okay if I don't get that job in a month. If I have to take this time to do whatever, things will come, everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to, and I had to trust that. It's not always easy. We live in such an interesting industry and in such an interesting time with social media that it can be very hard sometimes. You can fall victim to so many things that don't serve you and that don't make you happy. If your happiness depends on the actions of others, you're at mercy of things that you can't control. And that's never where I want to be. So I always want to live in like, me and my therapist talk about like my higher goddess, my higher self. Like I always want to live there knowing that, when I'm there, you can't take that away from me. That's mine. And no matter what, you can disagree with me, you can agree with me. That's not going, I'm not changing, I'm not shifting. I'm here, I'm in my higher goddess. Yeah. So I always live by like holding my happiness and not letting anyone else affect it. And though I fall victim to it at times,
of course, yeah.
As we all probably do,
absolutely.
I strive every day to live in that place. So, sometimes it feels weird to like say good things about yourself, but I've also learned a lot about talking to myself and a lot about looking in the mirror and being like, you're great, you're gorgeous, you're amazing, you're loyal, you're positive, you're so many, like I love words of affirmation. I love just sitting there and reassuring myself of who I am, because that's another thing for me. There's so many false narratives about me, about all of us, I'm sure. Like so many people think they have you figured out when they don't even know the half of it. So sitting there and being like, you get frustrated sometimes. It could feel really unfair. You could be reading something that someone is saying about you or hearing something that someone's saying about you and being like, that is so unfair because that's not who I am. And that really gets to me sometimes and that really sucks. But then looking at myself in the mirror and being like, but I know who I am. And that's all. Why does anything else matter? And my friends know who I am. And my family knows who I am. My dog knows who I am. My horse knows who I am. Like, why does everything else is just noise?